Today I have a bit of a hard topic. There is nothing sadder than to be in a place that God used to be and you are there as if God is still there. He left. You're the one that's still there. This is how you're going to say bye to the old version of you and finally move on from the place where the old version of you lived, because God isn't there anymore. I know that person hurt you. Things didn't go as planned. And I know you're still trying to figure out or pick up the pieces to the puzzle that fell, or dry up the spilt milk that has expired by now. But God is no longer there, girl. He's not there anymore. And you are still there. So my goal today is to get you out of there, because hello, you're the only one there. You might as well be unalive. Moving forward starts with a new direction. You have to turn yourself in a new direction. I know you're still in that place. I know you're in the place. You're in the place. Trust me, I've been there. I understand it. I know that you're still looking for an explanation, closure. I don't know, whatever you're looking for there. I was looking for solace or someone to acknowledge what had happened, but I didn't get that. But I did turn in a new direction. It's a choice you have to make every single day, even multiple times a day. You have to look at other things. You have to turn away from what happened. You have to turn away from who you used to be. You have to turn away from the decisions you made. You have to turn away from the mistakes that you made. You have to look somewhere else. No one is saying you didn't do that stuff. No one is saying that person didn't do that stuff. No one is saying that whatever happened didn't happen. We all know it happened. You know it happened. We all do. Now you just have to turn somewhere else. You have to look somewhere else. Otherwise, you're not going to leave. And once you turn in a new direction, you have to now start moving in that direction. You're being pulled back by your past. If you're not able to walk away from it, you're being pulled back by it. And every single time you look back at it, you're being pulled back. So it doesn't matter how far you walk, but you need to move. You need to get up. You need to get going. You need to get up and get going. Your life is waiting for you. The you that is where God is waiting to be inhabited. And it cannot be inhabited if you're inhabiting an old you with old habits, old mindsets. This isn't like the final version of you. There's more that's expected of you. You need to get up and you need to get going. Negativity will try to pull you back. You're going to be sitting there and you're going to be looking and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how can I do this? How can I go forward? How can I move on? How can I start doing things differently? Look at the mess that's in front of me. It's not letting me go. Yes, it is. I'm telling you that it's letting you go. It's already let you go. You just are convincing yourself that it hasn't. So it feels like it hasn't. God is not in that place anymore. So you have no reason to be in that place. You have no legal grounds to be in that place. Matter of fact, you might as well be there illegally, ma'am. You might as well be there illegally. You've gone too far to go back to the person that you used to be. You've done too much for other people to be in the same place. You can't keep pouring out of yourself and not pouring into you. This is you pouring into you. Think of you moving on from this old version of yourself, from who you used to be, as you doing it for you. You're doing it for you. This is the one thing. If this is the one thing you do for yourself all year, truly, and not something that's like fleeting, like self-care or like going to TJ Maxx or going wherever, do this one thing for you, for future you, because future you is the one that's calling you in the first place. Ring, ring. Keep moving forward, even if it feels easier to stay in the same place. I'm telling you that you can do it. You can do it. You of all people can do it. You of all people can do it. You have within you the reservoirs of strength to do it. You have within you the reservoirs of strength to do it. And I know strength is not a fun quality to have, really, because it's painful to get, but you have loads of it. You have tons of it. And as you start embracing this new part of you, this new way of being, this new you that isn't conditioned by what they see outside of themselves, the conditions that are still existing, the conditions that are unfavorable, whatever happened in that place, you're going to need a sick amount of diligence. You're going to need to be vigilant almost, not in the way that's like exhausting for your nervous system, but the way that's aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, aware of the decisions that you're making, aware of the food that you're putting into your body. You've been on autopilot for so long, accepting thoughts, accepting people, accepting places, accepting roles, accepting positions, accepting responsibilities that you don't even want to take on. You don't even want to accept, but you just are accepting them because that's just natural. That's just what you do, but you are asleep if you're doing that. You need to be diligent. Diligence requires you to be awake, aware, attentive. Wake up, girl. Literally wake up, because you have been asleep on autopilot and you went into that cocoon because of whatever it is that you went through. But now that it's over and God has left that place and he's calling you into a new place, think about the children of Israel calling you into a new place. Wake up. Manna is not falling from the sky anymore. God has moved. He's moved. He's gone somewhere else. He's moved. move. The raven isn't bringing 2 square meals a day anymore. I'm here to tell you that it's time. It's time, and you'll need diligence. And diligence is just repeated effort, repeated effort, repeated effort. 1 foot in front of the other. That's how you get anywhere. 1 foot in front of the other. It is not too late for you. The year is not gone yet. We are at the beginning of the end of it. Sure, it's November. Will it be November by the time you see this? That doesn't mean anything. The year is not over. You are not over just because the calendar year is ending. You are just beginning. This is the beginning of your life, not the end of it. You are just starting. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how experienced you are in whatever you think you're experienced in. Someone is more experienced than you. Someone is older than you, and they're starting over and they're fine. You're fine too. You're not over. You're just starting. The new you comes with new habits, new ways of being, a new mindset, a new schedule. Whatever you need to do to revamp, write it down on a piece of paper. Write down what you do now. Write down who you are now, how you spend your time now, how you spend your money now, how you expend your energy now, what you accept. Don't even concern yourself with what you don't accept. Just focus on what you do accept, because it keeps you in the energy of abundance, which is the energy of God. I'm on fire because maybe y'all are stuck somewhere and God sent me to come get you. Anyway, there's going to be moments where you feel like you want to turn back, and you're not going to turn back. You know how you're not going to turn back? You're going to remember that this is a battlefield. You are on a battlefield. This is war. You are fighting to be this new version of yourself, because this old version of you wants to pull you back, because life doesn't want you to progress, but the Spirit of God wants you to progress, because that's the nature of the Spirit of God. Anything in the world is generally against God. Anything in the Babylonian system is generally against God, is all the time against God. So your progress, you not making progress, is good for the world. It's fantastic, because they don't have to worry about the glory of God manifesting in another vessel. Do you understand what I mean? Don't lose focus. Remember what you're doing this for. Remember who you're doing this for. Remember that you have potential within you that is so vast. So you're the ocean. You are like the ocean. You have so much in you. You don't even know the beginning of it. You are too young. You are too unexperienced. You are too unseasoned in who you are to give up now, because who will discover the rest of you? Who will discover the rest of you that God knows? The world depends on you discovering who God made you to be and embracing that. The world depends on it. The world depends on it. Destinies depend on it. Other people depend on it. You are not here isolated. We are all connected. You have so many people connected to you that are depending on you growing into the you that you don't even know yet, because you got scarred. You got a little bump. You got a little there was a hiccup somewhere on your path. And now you're thinking that God is against you, the world is against you. Meanwhile, God left. He left because he's like, if I don't get out of here, forgive me, I hope this isn't blasphemous. If I don't get out of here, this person is never going to move. This person is never going to go. This is why he's your shepherd, because he guides you where you should go. This is why you don't feel it like you are uncomfortable where you are. You know that there's more for you. You know that there's more of you, but you just don't know how to tap into it. And you've convinced yourself, some of you, to the degree that you're like depressed or anxious or what have you. No, you're not. You just need new habits. And you need the inner strength that you have, by the way, to keep practicing these habits until they become you, because those habits are going to pull you out of that place. And they're going to keep you, the momentum you generate from practicing them is going to keep you from sinking back into that version of you that isn't feeding anything around it. It's actually decaying. And you're living in a dirty house. Girl. You're living in a dirty house. It's a house that's decaying. Do you understand what I mean? It's a metaphor. If your house is actually dirty, girl, go clean it. Let's be serious. Come on. Even if it sucks to clean, just do it. Or get someone to do it. In this economy, Zozo, girl, forget the economy. We're talking about the economy of you. Like, Jesus. This is a very personal chat. I told you I had something serious to talk to you about. Forgetting what is behind and reaching for that which is ahead of you. Why do you think he said that? Philippians 3:13-14. Why do you think he said that? Because there will come a time where you have to forget what's behind you. If you constantly keep what's behind you in your awareness, a part of you is always going to be turned there. And if a part of you is always turned, by the way, you're not like the Mr. Incredible or whoever the stretchy part is of that family, the stretchy one is of that family. You're a person. You can't be in two places at once, unfortunately. In the physical, it doesn't happen like that. Maybe in the spiritual, but not in the physical. So you can't be looking back and expecting to go forward. It's just not happening. You're gonna have to forget this version of you. Forget all the mistakes that she made. It was just like a crude version of you. It's like you make a cake, it flops, and then you expect everyone to eat it, but you can bake a better one and they don't mind waiting, yet somehow you're still feeding them the version of the cake that that sucks. Why? Sometimes you confuse me. You confuse me sometimes. If God has left a place, there is no reason for you to stay in that place. If the grace is gone, there's no reason for you to stay in that place. There's no reason for you to be there. God is not working there. Your higher self has moved on. Your higher self is your spirit, your consciousness, your full expression of you. It's somewhere else now. But this aspect of you, for some reason, wants to stay where you're at. So much so that it has pulled out of me collectively what I'm telling you right now. Gotta get going, girl. You gots to get going. You gots to get going. You have to get going. You cannot wait until January 1st. You have to get going. We depend on you to discover who you are and to start exercising that you. Not me realizing I'm also being called out by this message. Well, walk away from what's familiar and walk towards where he's leading. Walk away from what's familiar. You're in good hands. You're not going to regret it. The old chapter is closed for business. You can't shop here anymore. You can't hang out here anymore. You can't drink here anymore. You can't do anything here anymore. It's closed. You know how like on Google it's like temporarily closed? Yours is permanently closed. It's closed. The old you is permanently closed. Not available. God has a new chapter for you. It's time to discover who you're supposed to be in this new chapter because it is a new season for you. Whether it feels like it or not, it is a new season for you. Love you.